Hello, this is Maxwell's Raw. This is part 8 of our Zero 2, which gets me on to the ultimate start of the letter H. Starting off with the Hammer Drives Baboon, which from the Zookeeper's pack. Like this is an outlet that was needed for the game, considering that the baboon is the most iconic type of monkey out there, and the Hammer Drives Baboon in particular is most unique true species of baboon for its silverish coloration, along the fact that it's the only species of baboons we've found in the Middle East, and it's the most commonly kept ultimate monkey in captivity. All space of a in ancient Egyptian culture, so fathers of fourth. As for the monkeys in the game, I do think this is the best one. So for it being a baboon, iconic monkey that's called in captivity, and probably the best looking one. I think the texturing or the fundamentals could be better, but it is the best look one. And so it's everywhere, but the great cat. And I think I'm actually gonna put this. It's more unique, but hard above the giant panda. Moving on to the Herman's Tortoise, the exhibit out from the Eurasia pack. This is from that DLC. That's actually think this is a pretty good. This is the Herman. The Herman's Tortoise is a very common Europe. It's commonly kept as a pet, for it being a small to medium-sized tortoise. And it's also the early exhibit tortoise, and the last regular exhibit hound to be added to the game. When it comes to yours, I do think it's great. I think this is one of the more active exhibit hounds. It's the exhibit hound to have a grassland themed exhibit box. Animations are great. It's just so the balls are a lot brightly coloured than it is in real life. It's unfortunately so it's being far too brightly coloured than it's supposed to be. It's meant to be a more muted shade of yellow. So it's I think it's Sagas on the giant. So actually just there we go. So got two arrows from the Barnier's pack right next to each other. So what I was going to talk about is the Highland Cattle. It's one very small choice on the Barnier's pack that actually makes sense, as the Highland Cattle is a very popular breed of cattle for its very shaggy fur. It's very cool. It's breed of cattle in public animal places, mainly in Europe. And you can still see it in North America and Australia. And unfortunately, I do think this is the weakest animal from the Barnyard pack. It's not as shaggy as it is in real life, and this is the only thing. So that it doesn't reach this max so that's the breed is capable of being at. So it's a sense of it's even undersized. So I think it has some issues to the plains by. So I think it's actually parts of the Highland Cattle than they are with the plains bison. Goes. Moving on to the heel Radnor sheep, a very buffing jaw. See, since this is an obscure breed of sheep, which doesn't even have a page dedicated to it on Zoo Tierlist. I think when it comes to breed of sheep, I think it would make far more sense in the game with something like the Cameroon sheep or even the Somali black-headed sheep. But its execution, I think it's actually one of the better animal it's very accurate to its real life counterparts, and I think it's the sheep are executed better than the goats, but I think the domestic sheep they can be year round, so I think there's overall sheep I think to be off. So I think those small sheep I would say, but it is a bit of a problem. Similar situation the American standard donkey I would say, although I think is I think it seen on the hill run on sheep. Moving on to the Himalayan brown bear. The other brown bear in the game. Very roughly choices. Do I feel like the game would have been just fine with just the grizzly bear? Just the Himalayan brown is very severe sighting in captivity, being some other places in Europe and Asia, and would have made far more sense if the game went for the European brown bear, which is the most commonly kept subspecies of brown bear in European zoos and is the dominant subspecies. And so execution, and it's far too similar to the grizzly bear. I mean, the model is literally just a slightly paler of the grizzly bear model, even though in real life the two subspecies look very different from each other. It's just the Himalayan brown bear is a lot more fluffier and it's more of a sort of fudge brown colour ratio. And I think the model less like a Himalayan brown than it does a grizzly bear, since at least the grizzly bear, like I said in the previous part, is a more standard subspecies of brown bear. The Himalayan brown, I think, is a more distinct subspecies. Also doesn't help the fact that this is an album this game is dependent on snow. Even though the Himalayas aren't always snowy, and most of and typically so much in the winter, the Himalayan brown would be hibernating anywhere. And this is the worst animal in the game. It does a terrible job looking. So the model is lazy and is a very problematic how to use. And yeah, I think that is more issues than the worst exhibitors in the game. So there we go. It's the very bottom ranked of the tier list. See, so the rest of the hours to go aren't as worse than the Himalayan brown bear. Moving on to the common hippo. Obvious choice for the base game, another highly iconic African animal, very common in major zoos. So I think I did go over what I consider to be the worst scale. I think if American black bear was in instead of brown bear, could have actually had all 8 species of bear in the game. That's point out. So I consider to be the worst base game out. Is actually my favourite since the models holds up surprisingly well. It's actually very accurate to counterparts with a iconic and prominent sighting in major zoo. It's a very reliable animal. It's go underwater, but of course it doesn't actually dive. It's a somewhat. To even walk on the floor of its pool, and so now this she's going to say that water ratios, the proportions, the fact that's the task sounds important as they should be. It's not as aggressive as in real life. Speak of issues, but they're not really enough to go on here. But such, I think some limitations of the model. So yeah, it's very accurate as well as counterparts, and that is a very real life of it. Yeah, and I think what makes it even more impressive fact is this is one of the earlier base game animals, and yet it's, I think, the best one of the base game animals. I think I'll put it here. Moving, finally for this part, got the honey badger. It's interesting that it's in the Asia pack, since it's more so associated as an African animal. But it's still a good choice for the game. It is, I think, mainly because of it having the reputation of being the most fearless animal in the world. It's a very ferocious, very aggressive animal that's so an escape artist, so it's why they're actually a rare sighting in captivity, and that does the tier list, but it is a very well done game. It's very accurate to its real life counterparts. The animations are great, and its real life counterparts. So it's another entry for the excellence category. I think the fact that it's a rare sight, so I think actually below the Arctic Wolf. So there we go. Well, highest rank tower hasn't changed. Yeah, it's got. That's what I consider to be the worst animal in the game. So next part. So which there's actually even less else for me to talk about, which all have a common theme to them, as so we'll have next.